Welcome to part 38 of the return of Jesus. The return of Christ. Yes, the return of Jesus. And this is November the 2nd, 2024 by man's calendar. And I want to get right on back into this word because it's coming along right nicely. Let's keep on the roll. The Lord is going to seed this in good ground. I know He is. He's going to use it for His glory. He's going to send it out there, and y'all going to pick up the ball and you're going to run with it. Let me recap 2 Timothy 2, verse 18. Who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some. Nevertheless, the foundation of God stands sure, having this seal. The Lord knows them that are His. And let every one that names the name of Christ depart from iniquity. And the name of Christ is Jesus. Christ just means anointed. The anointed one, that's all that means. But let everyone that names the name of Christ depart from iniquity, which is unrighteousness. That's sin, that's lawlessness. But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, some to honor and some to dishonor. If a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel to honor, sanctified and meet for the master's use, and prepared to every good work. That means if you're purging yourself of iniquity, you're going to be meet for the master's use. That's right. If you coming out of that sin nature and you following the Lord, you're going to be meet for the master's use. I'm trying to get that zoomed in good. Flee also youthful lusts, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. Follow peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. That's not saying follow peace with every man. Although I'm not saying we're supposed to brawl with everybody, don't misunderstand me. I'm pointing out what this says here. Follow peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. But foolish and unlearned questions. Now here's what we need to learn to do, people, because we don't do this near often enough. I'm guilty of it too sometimes because I don't catch myself till it's too late. But foolish and unlearned questions avoid, knowing that they do gender strifes. That's quarrels. We don't want to be doing that. I've been doing better about avoiding such things. At first, when I did this, it wasn't to gender strife. It was because I thought people was genuinely seeking information, and I was trying to be helpful. We got to learn the difference. Not everybody's genuinely seeking information to better themselves. Some are seeking it just to cause strife. So you got to try them spirits and see if they be a god. Ask them their reasoning for why they asking these questions. What they intend to do with the information once they've received it. It reveals a lot about a person when you start asking them what's their purpose for wanting to know things. Anyways, going on to verse 24. And the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle to all men, apt to teach, and patient. That means we can't just run and thump them on the melon just because they're getting on our nerves. Back in the day, when I was younger, I'd have bopped them as sure as the world stood. They got on my nerves just right. I'd have slugged them. That's how we know the Lord has stepped in and He's in control, because I don't go around just bopping people no more. There was a few people I did bop on occasion, not many, because like I said, even back then I wasn't one to want to brawl. But if people give me calls, if they said stuff about the Lord and things, especially that I didn't like, you don't talk about Jesus. That went from me. And then, yeah, but we can't do that. We can't do that. Jesus didn't even do that. And He's God. But we got to do these things His way for His purpose. Because what happens when you just want to brawl? Well, of course, them that want to brawl, if you in the mood to brawl, they're going to brawl right with you. Devils like that. They like to throw down, son. They'll go right at it with you. So if you're willing to throw down, they'll throw down with you. And then their yuns is all fallen from the grace of God. They'll drag you right down. Don't let them. Don't let them. Walk away. And the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle to all men, apt to teach, and patient. In meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves. If God perhaps will give them repentance to the acknowledging of the truth. Now, if you want to win somebody, you can't get angry at them because they're opposing you. You got to think. You got to pray. You got to seek the Lord to find a way to breach that brawler in them. You got to go above and beyond and try to find a way to break through that and love them anyway. And if they see you're not going to give in to the brawling, that will get their attention. And mayhaps it'll open a door for you to talk to them about the Lord in the correct way. And if it don't, just go your way. What does He say? Them that won't receive you, dust your feet off as testimony against them and go on, right? Verse 26. And that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will. See, that's what we're supposed to be trying to do, is tell this truth to people to get them out of that snare. Because according to Luke, it comes as a snare upon the whole world. Luke 21:36, I believe it is. It's Luke 21, that I know. I just might have the wrong verse in mind. But it cometh as a snare upon the whole world. Yep. So, if the Lord has set you free and got you out, why wouldn't you want to try to turn around and help others get out? But first, render thanks to the Lord. Don't forget to turn and thank Him for the things He's done for you. All right, here we go. Here's a really, really awesome book. And this helps reveal to our eyes where we are and what times we living in. This is 2 Timothy 3. This know also, that in the last days, perilous, that means dangerous and difficult times, shall come. That's what perilous means, dangerous and difficult. Right there. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. That means they're going to care more about themselves than they do their neighbor. They're going to care more about themselves than they do anybody else, even their own families. They're going to care about numero uno, number one, themselves. They're not going to care what happens to other people, even in their own homes anymore. They don't care. They don't care about their children. They don't care about their spouses. But this is not how God's people are to behave. You're supposed to be caring about your spouse. You're supposed to be caring about your children, but God first. Jesus first. And then everybody else after that. Your spouse, your children, and then everybody else in the world. But God should be first, and then your wife and your children second. And you should go on from there in how you treat people. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous. Wanting for themselves, yeah, covetous. Boasters, proud. You can't tell me this ain't the time we're living in. You can see this everywhere. This is exactly what people are doing. Proud, blasphemers, which is revilers. That means they're reviling the word. They're reviling God. They're blasphemers. They're reviling the law of God. Blasphemers, disobedient to parents. You can't tell me we ain't hit that wide open. I see that on a daily basis everywhere I go about it. Unthankful. That's definitely where we at. Unholy. Oh yes, definitely. Look around how people dress. You could tell they unholy. Look at how they dress. They got themselves hanging out of every spot they can get themselves hanging out of. If they wore any less, they'd be wearing nothing at all, a lot of them. Some of y'all want to say that you're modestly dressed and you still hanging out your garment. That's not modesty. Cover it up. You're going to go into hell. That's not going into heaven. That there kind of thing is not going to be in the kingdom of heaven. I'll tell you that right now. Absolutely not. We're not supposed to be going around out here trying to invoke lust in everybody. That's not right. You're just trying to steal what's not yours. trying to steal somebody else's spouse. And in today's time, it don't matter if it's male or female, you're still trying to steal it. These abominations are not going to go into heaven. They certainly are not. I'll see you in the next part.